Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, we are live now. Yes, who was chanting the Bengali?
Yes, Prabhuji. Can I, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Jai Sri Prabhupada ki jai. मूर्खो सन्यासी निजो धर्म नहीं जाने भावु को होया फेरे भावु के शाने.
Very nice. We'll go to the translation. And yes, Supriti Mataji, translation for.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. This Caitanya Mahaprabhu is an illiterate sannyasi and therefore does not know his real function. Guided only by his sentiments, he wanders about in the company of other sentimentalists. Purport: foolish Mayavadis, not knowing that the Krishna conscious movement is based on a solid philosophy of transcendental science, superficially conclude that those who dance and chant do not have philosophical knowledge. Those who are Krishna conscious actually have full knowledge of the essence of Vedanta philosophy, for they study the real commentary on the Vedanta philosophy, Srimad Bhagavatam, and follow the actual words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as found in Bhagavad Gita as it is. After understanding the Bhagavata philosophy or Bhagavata Dharma, they become fully spiritually conscious or Krishna conscious, and therefore their chanting and dancing is not material, but it is on the spiritual platform. Although everyone admires the ecstatic chanting and dancing of the devotees, who are therefore popularly known as the Hare Krishna people, Mayavadis cannot appreciate these activities because of their poor fund of knowledge.
Now this is the situation. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashad Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the activities of the Lord are actually, we can say, transcendental. What are they? Totally transcendental. But it is difficult to understand. Janma karma chame divyam. So everything about the Lord is transcendental. Even Krishna's pastime, people here today, they cannot understand. Something somebody did and simply these people are worshipping him. General people think like that. We also used to think like that. Before we came to Krishna conscious movement, we also thought, आवाज नहीं आ रही?
धीरे धीरे.
अभी कैसा है?
नहीं, अभी भी ऐसे ही लग रहा है, सही.
अभी ठीक है? हाँ?
बाकी सब बोले. हेमा माता जी बोलो आप.
ठीक है आवाज माता जी, ठीक है.
नो बेटर.
ठीक है
बेटर नो.
HDMI ठीक है ना? Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Now it's clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Now
Okay. So now what happens is that generally we feel that the activities of the Lord look material to us, isn't it so? We hear about something. And not only that, people try to interpret these activities on the material plane. Somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, how do I understand Krishna conscious movement? Prabhupada says it's very difficult because it's a completely spiritual movement. So similarly, Prakashananda Saraswati cannot understand. He doesn't have adhikara to understand. Now once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took 2 grain of prasadam, and he said, how much this nectar is there in this prasadam? This is tasted by Krishna. Each gram of this contains unlimited spiritual bliss. Can a normal person see that? No, he cannot see that. Even we cannot see that if we don't take prasadam in a proper spirit. We take prasadam in spirit, khana aa gaya, theek hai, it will look like khana only. Just like you look at the deities as a stone, it will reciprocate like stone only. When you deal with the prasadam with respect, theek hai, it will have its own effect. Then chanting the holy name. Now the holy name looks like any other sound vibration. So Krishna is, because of his unlimited mercy, he is present before us in a way in which we can derive mercy. We have no capacity to see the Lord today. He comes as Archa Vigraha. We have no capacity to hear him. He comes as the holy name. We have no capacity to understand him. He comes as the scripture. We have no capacity to associate with him. So he comes as Archa Vigraha and Acharyas. So therefore it is said, Mahaprasada Govinde, Nama Brahmana Vaishnave, Salpa Punya Vatan Rajan Vishwasha Na Eva Jayate. You cannot easily get faith in this. And this is not ordinary. I don't know how we are so fortunate. We understand it is not. Don't you think all of us were in the position of Bhavuka only? We were thinking that Krishna Bhakti is some Bhavuka people only, isn't it true? Everybody,
yes, Prabhuji, very much so.
Everybody felt like that, no? We all that some sentimentalists are. They sit in bhajan and Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. They feel some sentiment and maybe it is good, God is there, so they become little pious and they become little law obedient, they have fear of God in them, so they don't do sinful activity. This all the normal man understands. And just understand, we already got so much mercy from Srila Prabhupada. But if we proceed, we can know already we are on the right path. Aren't we convinced that Krishna consciousness is not a bhavuka? Can you just imagine how much mercy we have already got? Now if we continue on this, just imagine how much more is available for us. How much more? Already this much. This is not bhavuka. We know this is something spiritual. We have firm faith in that by Krishna's mercy. But then, if this is Kanishta Adhikari, he develops some level of faith in all this. You have to become Madhyama. No, why these 3 platforms are they Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama? No, we have to proceed. We have to proceed. We have to introspect and see, okay, whether I am becoming Madhyama. And Madhyama means not only I am enjoying this, if somebody asks any questions, with thorough understanding and realizations, I can convince them. Kanishta Adhikari, if 2-3 people argue with him very strongly, he may get confused also. But Madhyama Adhikari will not get confused. The Prabhupada says, Kanishta Adhikari can fall down because his faith is weak. But Madhyama Adhikari will not fall down. And Uttama Adhikari cannot fall down. No question of Uttama Adhikari falling. But Madhyama Adhikari will not, because he is convinced. He has realizations. He has an understanding. Not that I have understanding of philosophy of Krishna consciousness, but I cannot practice it. That is Kanishta. Some level of understanding. Therefore, Kanishta means Komala Shraddha. Little faith is there. So we have come to this level. Pray to Krishna to give more mercy. Already Krishna is so merciful in us. Brahmana Brahmite Kono Bhagyavana Jeev. Guru Krishna's Prasade Pai. Bhakti Lata Beach. So let us continue. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, the process of Sankirtana, Shravana Kirtana should continue so that the Bhakti Lata seed which has sprouted within our heart and the pleasure of Krishna Bhakti has already manifested and we are convinced it is not a bhavuka. We have felt the real pleasure. And this transcendental pleasure is beyond the material sentiments. You know that, correct? But now let that seed fructify fully and let me experience Krishna Prema. So that's our target. So let us not, we are already very fortunate. Do not give up, follow rules and regulations and continue so that we don't fall into the category of this, what do you say, Prakash. See also what is there, when we fall down, we lose capacity to see these elements of Krishna's mercy on a spiritual dimension. Somebody is doing kirtana, bhavuka, and we will also become like that. Somebody eating prasadam, what is the difference? You can eat anything. Then you have no value. Then what are the other things? Shastra, some books, something they say. Many people feel like that. They don't respect the books as transcendental. Rather, they have feeling that certain things are wrong in that. But there is nothing wrong in the books. The wrong is what way we are following. The great maladies are there, the way we are following. Okay? So there was once one Rath Yatra and there was some reporters. So they were saying, because Prabhupada said, see, nobody can dance artificially for 7 hours. What is it? Nobody can dance. Hey, Gaurav, volume you can reduce there, because for them it is less, for this it is. So nobody can dance artificially for 7 hours. Why? Because how can you do that, But when we are Krishna conscious, we can see that, I don't know whether you have seen the Rath Yatra. Prabhupada is on the top of Ratha and he is dancing. You see the whole crowd is dancing with him. Very famous video. So Prabhupada is seeing, they are so much enjoying. That's the end of the Rath Yatra. They're still dancing with so much happiness. Prabhupada said they are not on a material platform. This is on a spiritual platform. Okay? Yes, Mataji, continue. Kuhu.
এসব শুনিয়া প্রভু হাসে মনে মনে উপেক্ষা করিয়া করুণা কইল সম্ভাষণে.
Translation. Hearing all this blasphemy, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu merely smiled to himself, rejecting all these accusations, and did not talk with the Mayavadis. Purport. As Krishna-conscious devotees, we do not like to converse with the Mayavadi philosophers simply to waste valuable time, but whenever there is an opportunity, we impress our philosophy upon them with great vigor and success.
So that is important, You do not study the shlokas. When Mayavadi will speak some 20 shlokas from Gita itself, you faint. What you will do? How will you argue? You will start sweating, perspiring, isn't it? See, as such we don't talk to them. But suppose they challenge you, you will remain silent. I don't know, I don't study Shastra. I only chant and dance. Okay, remain Kanishthadhikari. Madhyamadhikari means with forceful arguments he can defy. It's not easy. So, when devotees came to South India, they had problem particularly because there are so many Mayavadis, so many upper sampradayas, and they used to disturb the devotees. Hey, blah, 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 blah. So Prabhupada used to tell, the devotees wrote to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, they are disturbing us so much, they confuse us. Prabhupada, don't worry, you read Bhagavad Gita, all the answers are there. What is that? You read Bhagavad Gita, all the answers. We should, therefore. We should very carefully, you see how much energy Prabhupada is spending in writing the purport. So we should study the purport. Why he has written all this? Prabhupada said, I didn't write this books for making money. Why did I write this? I wrote this so that people can understand in detail the philosophy and present. Okay? So in fact, when Srila Prabhupada was present, many his followers said, Prabhupada used to say, I'll go any day, you be ready. So Prabhupada, he said, we were reading Prabhupada's book so that we can present it properly. So therefore the same enthusiasm should be there. Let me daily spend some time reading, make notes, understand all the points, understand all the arguments, remember some good shlokas which Prabhupada regularly, there is a book, Prabhupada shlokas, with the shlokas which Prabhupada quoted regularly. So you can at least those shlokas you can remember. Okay. Yes, Mataji.
উপেক্ষা করিয়া কইল মথুরা গমন, মথুরা দেখিয়া পুনঃ কইল আগমন।
Thus, neglecting the blasphemy of the Varanasi Mayavadis, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu proceeded to Mathura, and after visiting Mathura, he returned to meet the situation. Purport: Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not talk with the Mayavadi philosophers when he first visited Varanasi, but he returned there from Mathura to convince them of the real purport of Vedanta.
So see, it's a very nice behavior for learning. Number one, when Lord Chaitanya was offended, they told, yes, say you are a bhavuka, this, that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not get hurt. Correct? But it is difficult in the Kanishta situation to lay like that. Kanishta definitely gets very much hurt. He is very, difficult situation, neophyte. Madhyamadikari, he ignores. You see what is he doing? Upeksha. An Uttamadikari is a very advanced situation. Now somebody comes and shouts at you and you get hurt. Hey, why are you getting hurt? Sometimes some people do like that. They enjoy to see other person getting hurt. Why are you getting hurt? You should not get hurt, no? You're a Vaishnava. So what are you doing? This is the behavior of a Vaishnava. It hurts. But Madhyamadikari behaves in a different way, Kanishtadikari behaves in a... Uttamadikari, it is possible for him to take an enemy also as a friend. But Madhyamadikari cannot do that. He definitely gets hurt. He's not an Uttamadikari. Uttamadikari is completely on a transcendental plane. Mind, body, everything is detached himself. So not that he said, oh, no, why? He's a devotee, shouldn't. Why everybody is a human being? He is not Kanishta, he is Madhyama, he is Uttama. Why you are putting everybody should be Uttama? Your behavior is worse than a Shudra, and he should be Uttama. Wow. There's many times it happens in our dealings. People come and they do some upadrav, they shout, they insult you, and they think, no, you should not get affected. You should be Uttama. So why you are behaving even less than a Shudra? You had an experience like that? I don't know. How word can be very funny. For themselves, people do not want any standard. They can behave less than a Shudra for themselves. That's all right. But you should be more than Uttama. How is it? This is be reasonable. This is not reasonable behavior.
কাশীতে লেখক শূদ্র শ্রীচন্দ্র শেখর, তার ঘরে রহিলা প্রভু স্বতন্ত্র ঈশ্বর।
This time, Lord Chaitanya stayed at the house of Chandrasekhara, although he was regarded as a Shudra or Kayastha, for the Lord, as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, is completely independent. Purport: Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed at the house of Chandrasekhara, a clerk, although a sannyasi is not supposed to reside in a Shudra's house. 500 years ago, especially in Bengal, it was a system that persons who were born in the families of Brahmanas were accepted as Brahmanas, and all those who took birth in other families, even the higher castes, namely the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas, were considered Shudras, non-Brahmanas. Therefore, although Sri Chandrasekhara was a clerk from the Kayastha family in Upper India, he was considered as a Shudra. Similarly, Vaishyas, especially those of Suvarna Vanik community, were accepted as Shudras in Bengal, and even the Vaidyas, who were generally physicians, were also considered Shudras. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, did not accept this artificial principle, which was introduced in society by self-interested men, and later the Kayasthas, Vaidyas, and Vaniks all began to accept the sacred thread, despite objections from the so-called Brahmanas. Before the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Suvarna Vanik class were condemned by Balal Sena, who was then the king of Bengal, due to a personal grudge. In Bengal, the Suvarna Vanik class are always rich, very rich, for they are bankers and dealers in gold and silver. Therefore, Balala Sena used to borrow money from a Suvarna Vanik banker. Balala Sena's bankruptcy later obliged the Suvarna Vanik banker to stop advancing money to him, and thus Balala Sena became angry and condemned the entire Suvarna Vanik society as belonging to Shudra community. He tried to induce the Brahmanas not to accept the Suvarnavarniks as followers of the instruction of the Vedas under the Brahmanical directions. But although some Brahmanas approved of Balalasena's actions, others did not. Thus, the Brahmanas also became divided among themselves, and those who supported the Suvarnavarnik class were rejected from the Brahmana community. At the present day, the same biases are still being followed. There are many Vaishnava families in Bengal whose members, although not actually born Brahmanas, act as acharyas by initiating disciples and offering the sacred thread as enjoined in the Vaishnava Tantras. For example, in the families of Thakura Raghunatha Acharya, Thakura Krishnadasa, Navani Hoda, and Rasikananda Deva, a disciple of Shyamananda Prabhu, the sacred thread ceremony is performed as it is for the caste Goswamis, and this system has continued for the past 300 to 400 years. Accepting disciples born in Brahmana families, they are bona fide spiritual masters who have facility to worship the Shaligrama Shila, which is worshipped with the deity. As of this writing, Shaligrama Shila worship has not yet been introduced in our Krishna conscious movement, but soon it will be introduced in all our temples as an essential function of Archana Marga, deity worship.
Okay, so this is Prabhupada speaking about stayed in the house of Chandrasekhara. Now, you know, this many times people say Hindu religion has a malady. Even the chief minister of Karnataka went on to speak. Why people are converting? Because there is so much suffering for the lower caste. What is it then? The people celebrate themselves nowadays, I don't know, it has become a kind of a joke. I am Maha Shudra, I am Maha untouchable, like that, so that they get privileges. People go around, the communities are fighting also. We should be treated as low caste, because we want reservation. At different places, funny things are happening. But anyway, as far as the scripture is concerned, by birth, nobody is of any caste. What is the shloka to show this? Bhagavad Gita, Janma Karma. What is the shloka? Chaturvarna.
Chaturvarna. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashah.
Okay? So Gunakarma Vibhagasha is very clear. Janma word was not there. Now if this has started, it's a melody you have to introduce to people. Nowhere in the scripture Janma is considered, only the Gunakarma is considered. It's very clear the Supreme Lord is speaking. I designed this system, but it is based on Gunakarma. It's very scientific, Varnashama. In fact, Varnashama is such a controversial topic to talk. Bhaktivinoda Thakur had to spend so much time. This is a great malady that by birth people are considering themselves belonging to. Varnashama is created of Krishna. It's not a problem. What is the problem is that it is not by birth, it is by guna and karma. In fact, Prabhupada many times said Varnashama is needed in the society. Yesterday we were saying, Prabhupada was speaking in that lecture, that everybody has to say in the platform of Sattva-guna. For that, Varnashama should be introduced. So rules and regulations are introduced. Detailed rules and regulations are introduced so people can stay very clean, rules and Varnashama overall refers to rules and regulations for conduct in human society. But then what to be done? But then Varnashama is like, suppose you are a Brahmana, then you have to show the qualities of a Brahmana. Samadava, tapa, saucham, shanti, marjam, evacha, jnana, vijnana, astikyam, brahma karma svabhakam. We have the qualities of a Brahmana, 9 qualities. Similarly, of a Kshatriya, Vaishya, these qualities are needed. We cannot say somebody is, why Bhagavad Gita lists so many qualities? Because these are needed. Today what is happening is that people are taking different roles definitely. Like in a body, hand, legs, head has to be there. People are taking roles. But the problem is this, that nobody is doing these roles by training of qualities. Starting from somebody can become a minister, a politician, he may not have any qualities. Openly they say, I have not come here to do a sannyasi work. I want post, I want power. They openly say like that. We do not see any respectable qualities in them. Most of the time they are found to be corrupt to the core, and every angle we see them. So many bureaucrats, very, very corrupt. So they get position, but they have no quality, no loyalty, no integrity. Great. So that's a guna karma. Not everybody can have the Brahminical qualities, but then according to the profession, they should have the qualities. So in a society, what has happened, professional life and personal life has been separated. It does not matter, you just come and do your job, you drink or smoke, you have nothing to do with it. Okay, that's fine for Shudra jobs. But all the so-called software engineers, all that, they drink and they do their job. Yeah, take it, there's Shudra jobs, done. You can drink also and do those jobs. But for the higher responsibilities, you want to be the minister for the country, you want to be the administrator, your bureaucrats, all these responsibilities, any position of responsibility, you have to show this qualities. Guna karma vibhagasha. Otherwise, you will not be effective. Correct? Because your work will not be like that. You have no compassion, you have no qualities, what is needed for a work of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, then you will not be able to do your job. Okay? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Does it make sense, everybody?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in the house of Chandrasekhara, totally neglecting the so-called caste system of that time. He's just ignoring that. Because he does not recognize it. For him, it's a waste. Okay, chalo, let us continue. Shaligram Shila worship, even we have to introduce. Prabhupada is saying it will introduce. Chalo, next.
তপনমি শ্রের ঘরে ভিক্ষা নির্বাহন সন্ন্যাসীর সঙ্গে নাহি মানে নিমন্ত্রণ.
As a matter of principle, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu regularly accepted his food at the house of Tapana Mishra. He never mixed with other sannyasis, nor did he accept invitations from them. Purport: this exemplary behavior of Lord Chaitanya definitely proves that a Vaishnava sannyasi cannot accept invitations from Mayavadi sannyasis or intimately mix with them.
Yeah, to the extent that one purport Prabhupada says even a Uttamadhikari can fall down if he associates with the Mayavadis. So dangerous. What is so dangerous about it? Anybody? Why Mayavada is dangerous? Maya Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Mayavada bhasha huve sarvanasha. Why does he say that? Why do you feel this philosophy is so dangerous? Anybody? He said they should not.
Because they somehow try to kill Krishna and then they put themselves as the master or the supreme.
They say that not have
They
the
do not
physical
accept-
form.
No, even you have a good understanding. Say you are, in the Chaitanya Caritamrita you will read, there was one of the disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who once went to Mayavada class and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not meet him after that. Became very upset. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, okay, I'll meet him after so many births, but basically punished him. Why even Advaita Acharya wants to make Chaitanya Mahaprabhu angry? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to give so much respect to him. And Advaita Acharya actually wanted to respect Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But because Advaita Acharya was elderly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu treated him with the great respect like his guru. So Advaita Acharya one day devised a mean. He started speaking Mayavada philosophy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, somebody told, he's speaking total Mayavada today. What happened? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ran and in front of everybody beat him up. So why he was very much, what is wrong? I hear Mayavada philosophy and I reject it. I will just laugh at it. What's that? Even an advanced devotee should not associate with the Mayavadi. What is the reason? Anybody can think about? Philosophically, we can know it is wrong. We know it's wrong.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, because they are totally dangerous. They say that everyone is God. the question is, if everyone is God, I am God, you are God, everyone is God. If everyone is God, the question is, why is everyone under the influence of modes
Okay.
of
So
nature?
you are, no, but you know the you know Krishna conscious philosophy. Suppose somebody comes and tell you this, what is wrong? You will just laugh at it, no? Why you should not hear,
वो
even
देखिए
if you know.
खरबूजा रंग करता है.
Prabhuji,
Huh?
they do not accept the supreme authority of Krishna, and later they are jealous of
Yeah,
him.
no, but
And
I
they
accept, no? See,
can't
suppose.
hear such blaspheme things for Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay,
like
you
committing
cannot hear
suicide.
the blasphemy. Okay, then.
It's
Okay,
like
very
committing suicide.
Correct, sir, Prabhuji.
Time.
Correct, sir. They
No.
don't think that Krishna is a person, Prabhuji.
Huh?
If they are impersonal, they think that Krishna has no personality.
No, no, that is okay. No, I'm not talking about the philosophy. Philosophy, we know it is wrong. But you know wrong, so what is there? You can go and sit among that. What is the problem? Number one, we cannot hear blasphemy of the Lord. Heart will be suffocated because they will comment even on Krishna. See, all these people on the TV serial, they are all infected. They are all polluted by Mayavada. And they tend to glorify the Lord. What they will do? They only do damage. Mayavada bhasha, huve sarvanasha. Therefore, you see, Srila Prabhupada wanted to preach in India, but nobody could accept Krishna consciousness. He had to start from America. Why? Sarvanasha had happened here. The Mayavadi had destroyed the whole field. You understand? You appreciate now? Correct? You understand? Suppose somebody has heard Mayavada and then you tell about, he's like that. Okay, so number one reason why you will not sit is that you don't want to hear blasphemy. Number two, a neophyte person can also get confused, correct? They get confused. And number three, very important, they have jealousy for the Lord. They'll infect you with that. And it's actually, if you see, Mayavada is very attractive to hear compared to Vaishnava philosophy, in some sense. Because Vaishnava, we say, you are nothing, you are nothing, you are nothing. And a Mayavadi will say, you are everything. So where you will go to hear? You are God, you are moving sun and the moon. So nice to hear all this nectar. And somebody says you are an idiot, you are a low-class man, you left the service of the Lord, you are a sinner. Who wants to hear all this? Nobody wants to hear all this. So people generally get attracted to the Mayavada philosophy. That's how the nature is. But actually the fact is we are servants of the Lord. So we got three reasons. Number one is that we can't hear the blasphemy. Very good. Number two, we may get confused. Number three, they may rub on our heart the jealousy for the Lord. Correct? Somebody hates somebody, you would like to sit with them because it's, you may also develop that tendency. Okay, so you understand or not understand? Follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu order. So stop watching all the TV serials immediately. They're all, Prabhu, I understood, but I watch also. They're all Mayavadis. All Mayavadis. Infatuated, infected, polluted. But still, because it's very attractive. A lot of music is there, a lot of sound is there. But they'll disturb your bhakti. It has to be very properly presented. Prabhupada says, don't be hasty. You have to present it very properly. Otherwise, like Romharshana Sutta, you are distributing poison. You're not distributing nectar. So they are at best Romharshana, at best. And worse, they are open Mayavadis. Okay? Makes sense, everybody? Anything you wanted to add? So Vaishnava should not associate. Keep a distance from them. Okay? It's fine. Any questions on this? A very serious point. Is it clear?
Yes,
Prabhuji, also they interpret. So if we are not firm on something, we may also start believing what they're saying is right.
We'll start getting confused, You'll also start getting confused. Yeah.
Prabhuji, they have a philosophy. Like I joined one meditation classes and I stopped it immediately because they were saying that the lady said in the beginning, we don't need God or anyone, we are God ourselves. So मुझे ये बड़ा अजीब लगा और बहुत गंदा लगा. So I stopped. I just removed myself from the group. I think this is Mayavada philosophy.
Very good. So you can just walk. What is the big deal? Just walk. Suppose exercise and all, just walk for some time and take your japa back, keep chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All the cities are polluted with so much sinful activity. Just sit, keep chanting. Okay. Chalo, continue.
সনাতন গোসাই আসি তাহাই মিলিলা তার শিক্ষা লাগি প্রভু 2 মাস রহিলা।
When Sanatana Goswami came from Bengal, he met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the house of Tapana Mishra, where Lord Chaitanya remained continuously for 2 months to teach him devotional service. Purport: Lord Chaitanya taught Sanatana Goswami in the line of disciplic succession. Sanatana Goswami was a learned scholar in Sanskrit and other languages, but until instructed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did not write anything about Vaishnava behavior. His very famous book, Hari Bhakti Vilasa, which gives direction for Vaishnava candidates, was written completely in compliance with the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this Hari Bhakti Vilasa, Sri Sanatana Goswami gives definite instructions that by proper initiation by a bona fide spiritual master, one can immediately become a Brahmana. In this connection, he says, Yatha kancanatam yati kashyam rasa vidanataha tata diksha vidhanena dvijitvam jayate nrinam. As bell metal is turned into gold when mixed with mercury in a all-chemical process, so one who is properly trained and initiated by a bona fide spiritual master immediately becomes a Brahmana. Sometimes those born in Brahmana families protest this, but they have no strong arguments against this principle. By the grace of Krishna and his devotee, one's life can change. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam by the words Jahati Bandham and Shudnyanti. Jahati Bandham indicates that a living entity is conditioned by a particular type of body. The body is certainly an impediment, but one who associates with a pure devotee and follows his instruction can avoid this impediment and become a regular Brahmana by initiation under the strict guidance. Srila Jiva Goswami states how a non-Brahmana can be turned into a Brahmana by the association of a pure devotee. Prabha Vishnave Namaha. Lord Vishnu is so powerful that he can do anything he likes. Therefore, it is not difficult for Vishnu to change the body of a devotee who is under the guidance of a pure devotee of the Lord. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay, so what are the shloka in Bhagavad Gita on the same principle? Anybody knows? Papa Yonayaha.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Mamhi partha vyapachritya yepi syu papayonayaga shriyo vaishya tatha shudra tepi yanti param gatim. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Very beautiful. Mami Partha Vipashita. Okay? So somebody takes shelter of the Lord, does not matter, maybe from any sinful community, anybody he may be. Society generally, as scholars, the respect is not given to the Vaishyas or women, to Shudras like that, but even they can achieve the supreme destination. Yes, any other shloka from Bhagavatam? Anybody know the shloka? Kirata Hunanda, Pulinda Pulkasha, Bhagavatam? Anybody can locate and chant the shloka? It's a beautiful shloka. Kirata Hunanda Pulinda Pulkasha Abhira Shamba Yavana Kashadayaha. Yes, please chant.
Hunandra Pulinda Pulkasha Abhira Shubha Shumbha Yavana Kasadayaha Te Anye Cha Papayat Apashayashayaha Shuddhyanti Tasmai Prabha Vishnave Namaha.
Therefore, you can see this word is there. Can you saw this word? Prabha Vishnave Namaha. It is from that shloka only. Prabhupada has that shloka in his mind. Okay? So this Kurata Huninda refers to so many kind of sinful people around the world. Okay, but anybody can become Krishna devotee. Therefore, Prabhupada, even though he went to Africa, when he saw the center was in the area of Hindu community, Prabhupada said, why you have done that? Please shift it to the local people, where the local people are there. And he was very happy. Yes, I was very happy. In fact, you see, in Bombay, Prabhupada is taking a class, and there is an African Negro sitting there, and Prabhupada is explaining him. There is no difference, he is saying. And when it is a hot, what do you say? Everybody feels the heat, so the body is the same. It doesn't matter. He is giving so many examples to explain. Okay? So Krishna conscious movement is totally transcendental movement, and we definitely do not recognize the so-called classification based on birth in the society. Bhaktivinoda Thakur had to fight so much against it. Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada had to fight so much against it. Even Srila Prabhupada said that, people are thinking, in America they say I am brainwashing people, so people are my enemies. And in India, people are feeling I am a CIA agent. That is one of the things. Another thing, some Brahmanas are saying, Srila Prabhupada is destroying the Hindu Dharma. So Prabhupada said, what is all this? Where I am destroying the Hindu Dharma? But people feel like that. Many people feel like that. That actually a person in a Brahmana family born is special. Now he's fortunate definitely, because as much it would have degraded, some samskaras are there even in a Brahmana family. Okay? Something remaining. But then today we see almost it is gone. It's all same lump now. The children's are gone, same, doesn't matter. I never saw in my college any difference. All were drinking, all were womanizing, all were eating meat. This was 25 years ago. And there was nothing to do with their names. But what name they had? Big name of, big saints they had in their name, big gotras they had. All useless. And today definitely now next generation, hardly this difference exists. But suppose somebody takes a privilege, I am a Brahmana, what is the meaning in that? Upadhi, it is only a upadhi which has no relevance today. In fact, Srila Prabhupada jokes, in Vrindavan, some person was there and he was working as a clerk. But he was working as a clerk in some government office. And because he was from a respected, community, people used to still go and paying obeisance. Prabhupada says, he's doing work of a Shudra. He's a Shudra. But no, he is born in a very special family. So birth is not important, your guna and karma is important. Okay? See, this is so transcendental, who will accept this? But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally, being a Brahmana, he's from a Brahmin family, being a sannyasi, most respectable. In fact, there was once Ramananda Raya, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asking him question, Ramananda Raya was replying. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asking question, Ramananda Raya was replying. So at that time, one time, Ramananda Raya stopped, wait a minute, what is all this? You are a Brahmana and a sannyasi, and I am a Shudra and, an householder. How is it that I can instruct you? So what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reply? Anybody knows?
Naham vipro na chanarapatir, napi vaishyo na shudro, naham varni na chagruhapatir, napi navanasto yatirva, kintu prodyan nikila paramananda purna amritabir, gopi bhartu padakamalayur dasa dasanudasaha.
So beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. So beautiful. So nice to hear. Well, devotees have become scholars. So everybody do that, please. So you should be able to quote. So clear. I am just a servant of Krishna, who is the maintainer of the gopis. Gopi bhartur padakamalayur dasa dasanu dasa. So beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. All becoming big scholars. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not follow this system at all. Rejected it completely personally by his own behavior. Okay, so we should be convinced. See what happens, how to behave as a Vaishnava, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed it personally. So we know. Why did Prabhupada bother about this? He also did never bother about this. In fact, there is one instance where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes to Vrindavan, and then when he's dancing, another person comes, he also starts dancing with him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced in great ecstasy. And he was also dancing with great ecstasy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was surprised from how is it possible? There's so much mercy this person has. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, who are you? So he says, I am a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, oh, so beautiful, so beautiful. And then he said, please come to my house for prasadam. So because Madhavendra Puri came, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, I'll come. So therefore, same like Chandrasekhar Acharya is a pure personality, he's a great devotee. Okay? He's a devotee. Now, which category of devotee is a separate issue, but he's a devotee. And actually these are all eternal assets of the Lord, but playing different roles. So now he is ready to host Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is happily going. Okay, continue.
আরে শিখাইলো সব বৈষ্ণবের ধর্ম ভাগবত আদি শাস্ত্রের যত গুড় মর্ম।
On the basis of scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, which reveal these confidential directions, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Sanatana Goswami regarding all the regular activities of a devotee. Purport: in the Parampara system, the instructions taken from the bona fide spiritual master must also be based on revealed Vedic scriptures. One who is in the line of disciplic succession cannot manufacture his own way of behavior. There are so many called followers of Vaishnava cult in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who do not scrupulously follow the conclusion of the Shastras, and therefore they are considered to be Apasampradaya, which means outside of the Sampradaya. Some of these groups are known as Aula, Baula, Kharta Bhaja, Neda, Daravesha, Shani, Sahajiya, Saki Beki, Smarta, Jata Gosagni, Ativadi, Chudadhari, and Gauranga Nagari. In order to follow strictly the disciplic succession of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one should not associate with these asampradaya communities. One who is taught by a bona fide spiritual master cannot understand the Vedic literature. To emphasize this point, Lord Krishna, while instructing Arjuna, clearly said that it was because Arjuna was his devotee and confidential friend that he could understand the mystery of the Bhagavad Gita. It is to be concluded, therefore, that one who wants to understand the mystery of revealed scriptures must approach a bona fide spiritual master, hear from him very submissively, and render service to him. Then the import of the scriptures will be revealed. It is stated in the Vedas, Shveshwatara Upanishad 6.23, Yasya deve para bhaktir yata deve tata gurau tasya iti katita hi artha prakashante mahatmanaha. The real import of the scriptures is revealed to one who has unflinching faith in both the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the spiritual master. Srila Narottama Dasa Thakur advises Sadhu Shastra Guru Vakya Hridaye Kariya Aikya. The meaning of this instruction is that one must consider the instructions of the sadhu, the revealed scriptures, and the spiritual master in order to understand the real purpose of spiritual life. Neither a sadhu, saintly person, or Vaishnava, nor a bona fide spiritual master says anything that is beyond the scope of the sanction of the revealed scriptures. Thus, the statements of the revealed scriptures correspond to those of bona fide spiritual master and saintly persons. One must therefore act with reference to these three important sources of understanding.
See, the point is that we have to follow something. And today, if you see, we follow the mind. Now, you cannot make spiritual advancement when you follow the mind. Why? Mind is the enemy now. Spiritually, our enemy. Even though it looks like a friend, it is giving wrong advice. So always we should therefore cultivate, we should get accustomed to this. Prabhupada says, we do everything based on Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Anytime Prabhupada's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was met by somebody and he asked anything, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always quoted the Shastra. Even though Prabhupada says he doesn't have to quote Shastra, whatever he speaks is the Shastra itself. We are also like that. We think whatever I speak is Veda Vakya. It's not true. We have to always check. Our mind is very tricky. We should cultivate this. It's not that at a Kanishta situation we are, the behavior is not like that, but slowly we should cultivate this. Anything we think, check by, suddenly I get an idea and I get a dream and I get some inspiration and I do it. Not at the present level we are. We have to check it, the Guru Sadhu Shastra, whether such a thing that I thought is right or it is wrong. We have to check. We cannot think we are in some liberated position. Now today I felt I will do like this. I got a dream. Many people feel like I got a dream and I should do. The dream, Maya can also produce a dream. What's the big deal? You cannot. You have to check your so-called dreams. You have to check your so-called inspiration. You have to check your so-called decisions from the Guru Sadhu Shastra. Even the kings at the Vedic time used to keep an assembly of the Brahmanas free of charge. They will not take a charge. Because that's the quality of a Brahmana. He will call him, yes, I want an advice that I'm thinking of planning to do such an activity. Is it according to the Shastra? He will say, yes, you can proceed. This is according to Shastra. Okay, so suppose some criminal has done a murder. Now today I want to give him death penalty. Does the Shastra say that? Yes, you can do that. Proceed. So now he will check. Because our convictions is what is happening to society today. Every day the value system is changing. Every day. You know, there's a generation gap or whatever, Gen Z, this, Z. But the value system is totally different. Therefore, they can't even accommodate each other. You know. So we should be, but the Shastra value system, therefore these are called eternal moral principles. You know. Eternal, they have used the word in the colleges, universal human values. You know, they are saying such words. But these are all changing. Every day it changes. Nothing is constant there. Every day things can get relaxed. What people consider bad is considered good. You know, the value system changes. So I didn't know this is a crime. I didn't know. So you can have a different value system. But Shastra is always same. See, Yamaraja is not going to say, I'm going to punish you. For what reason? You know, because you are born from this family. No, this crime, this is the punishment. It doesn't matter from where you are coming. No, I belong to that religion, so I can eat meat. I'll cut you. He is not having any other. These are eternal religious principles. What we are studying is eternal religious principle. That is the criteria for Yamaraj. You know? Not your manghadant religious principles. These are all manodharma. We have to deal with eternal religious principle, even in the rules and regulation of karma kanda. Okay, continue.
ইতিমধ্যে চন্দ্রশেখর মিশ্র তপন দুঃখী হইয়া প্রভু পায় কইল নিবেদন.
While like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was instructing Sanatana Goswami, both Chandrasekhara and Tapana Mishra became very unhappy. Therefore, they submitted and appealed unto the lotus feet of the Lord.
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he left for Vrindavan, there is a big discussion in Chaitanya Caritamrita later. At this instance, you know, here it has come to how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu liberated everybody, including the Mayavadi. Therefore, this context, this has come. Otherwise, it's a very, very big discussion in Chaitanya Caritamrita, what happened when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Vrindavan. It's very big. As they said, his happiness expanded 1,000,000 times as he entered Vrindavan. He stayed below the Imlitala tree. He used to sit there and chant with the same place where Radharani used to feel separation from Krishna. She used to come there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to personally go and sit there. He used all the, in fact, the animals, the cows and deers of Vrindavan used to run toward Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they could feel. And also this is a totally spiritual plane, this was happening. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling so much ecstasy that he used to sometimes faint. Sometimes he jumped from the boat. And seeing that, as a saint, they took him out of Vrindavan. Because they know that we cannot handle this, you know, too much ecstasy. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed there, and there is a lot of discussion. But here, in that context, it is not given. Here, context is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is convincing the Prakash and the Saraswati and the team of the Krishna consciousness. This is what the context is, so that is not mentioned. So he was offended, you know what he did? He smiled and walked away. Uttamadhikari can do that. You shout at somebody and he just smiles, that is Uttamadhikari. Madhyamadhikari will ignore you. Kanishthadhikari will get angry, correct? It is said, even your enemy, you should be friendly. That is for Uttamadhikari, not for ordinary person. He'll get hurt, definitely. Okay, so they are, Chandrasekhar Acharya and Tapan Mishra became very unhappy. So Prabhupada comments there in the next purport, actually they were not strong philosophically to cut down those arguments. Why that the Chandrasekhar Acharya, Tapan Mishra should have gone and defeated Prakashananda Saraswati, what you are telling, a quote from Shastra and finished them off. Prabhupada said, no, they were not in that. Actually, they are on that platform. They're all eternal associates of the Lord. But they were not playing that part. They're playing the part of a Kanishthadhikari. So they did not do that. So what a Kanishthadhikari can do when somebody offends, he only feels pain. And he wants to go away from that place. But Madhyamadhikari and Uttamadhikari will convince him that you are speaking nonsense.
পাতিক শুনিব প্রভু তোমারও নিন্দন, না পারি সহিতে এবে ছাড়িব জীবন।
How long can we tolerate the blasphemy by your critics against your conduct? We should give up our lives rather than hear such blasphemy. Purport. One of the most important instructions by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu regarding regular Vaishnava behavior is that a Vaishnava should be tolerant like a tree and submissive like a grass. Trunadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada harihi. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Nevertheless, the author of these instructions, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, did not tolerate the misbehavior of Jagai and Magai. When they harmed Lord Nityananda Prabhu, he immediately became angry and wanted to kill them. And it was only by the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu that they were saved. One should be very meek and humble in his personal transactions, and if insulted, a Vaishnava should be tolerant and not angry. But if there is blasphemy against one's Guru or another Vaishnava, one should be as angry as fire. This was exhibited by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One should not tolerate blasphemy against a Vaishnava, but should immediately take one of the three actions. If someone blasphemes a Vaishnava, one should stop him with arguments and higher reason. If one is not expert enough to do this, he should give up his life on the spot. And if he cannot do this, he must go away. While Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Benares or Kashi, the Mayavadi sannyasis blasphemed him in many ways because although he was a sannyasi, he was indulging in chanting and dancing. Tapana Mishra and Chandrasekhara heard this criticism, and it was intolerable for them because they were great devotees of Lord Chaitanya Prabhu. They could not stop it, however, and therefore they appealed to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because this blasphemy was so intolerable that they had decided to give up their lives. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
গায়ে যত সন্ন্যাসীর গণ, শুনিতে না পারি ফাটে হৃদয় শ্রবণ।
The Mayavadi sannyasis are all criticizing your holiness. We cannot tolerate such criticism, for this blasphemy breaks our hearts. Purport. This is a manifestation of real love for Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are three categories of Vaishnavas: Kanishtadhikaris, Madhyamadhikaris, and Uttamadhikaris. The Kanishtadhikari, or the devotee in the lowest stage of Vaishnava life, has firm faith but is not familiar with the conclusions of the Shastras. The devotee in the second stage, the Madhyamadhikari, is completely aware of the Shastric conclusion and has firm faith in his Guru and the Lord. He therefore, avoiding non-devotees, preaches to the innocent. However, the Mahabhagavata or Uttamadhikari, the devotee in the highest stage of devotional life, does not see anyone as being against the Vaishnava principles, for he regards everyone as a Vaishnava but himself. This is the essence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction that one be more tolerant than a tree and think oneself lower than that straw in the street. Trunadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna. However, even if a devotee is in the Uttama Bhagavata status, he must come down to the second status of life, Madhyamadhikari, to be a preacher, for a preacher should not tolerate blasphemy against other Vaishnava. Although a Kanishtadhikari cannot tolerate such blasphemy, he is not competent to stop it by citing Shastric evidences. Therefore, Tapana Mishra and Chandrasekhara are understood to be Kanishtadhikaris because they could not refute the arguments of the sannyasis in Benares. They appealed to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to take action, for they felt that they could not tolerate such criticism, although they could not stop it.
So, what do you have to do? Study the Shastra very nicely. Not only do devotional service, we should chant Hare Krishna, we should also study the Shastra very nicely, study all the arguments Prabhupada gives in so many books. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is now being challenged. He is chanting and dancing, correct? But when challenged, he has enough arguments to smash Prakashanada Saraswati. Okay, so therefore, devotees should be well read, study well, understand well. Okay, Hare Krishna everybody.
Thank
थैंक यू प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा, आदर प्रणाम।
कृष्ण प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा
कृष्णा प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा, हरे राम,
हरे
हरे
राम
राम,
सभी को
हरे
धन्यवाद।
कृष्णा, हरे राम, राम
धन्यवाद।
राम, हरे राम, हरे कृष्णा, हरे राम, राम कृष्ण, हरे राम, हरे राम, हरे राम, राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा, राम कृष्ण, हरे राम, हरे राम, राम राम, हरे हरे, हरे राम, हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा, हरे हरे, हरे राम, राम हरे हरे,
प्रभुपाद की
जय
जय श्री राधा गोविंद की
जय
जय।
प्रभु जी
हरे
की जय।
कृष्णा कृष्ण
कृष्णा
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण हरे
हरे
हरे,
हरे